could just feel it in my gut, a pain feeling in my gut.
So you know that's the seat of your emotions.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know that from yoga.
Yeah. After the fact, but during this time,
no.
During this time, I didn't know anything. It's crazy, but during this time, I didn't know anything about negative emotions. I didn't even know what depressed means. I didn't know anything. I didn't know anything about it. So, the grandfather had passed. I got a really, really bad feeling. Like it was just like a pain in my stomach. And I just balled up. So, at that time, as that time went on, still started to look more and dig deep into the questions that I was asking. Why am I feeling this way? Why is this and why is that? Why is this and why is that? So I started to once again do my own research and start to find out that you're not alone. Start to find out that once again, I was telling you earlier that when you be challenged with a mental episode, you start to really see where your balance is, you know? So I really saw where it was at. I really know that I really wasn't stable with that, right? So I started to do more and more work with that. Started to do yoga. I was doing yoga like once a week. Then I brushed up, I said, let me just, because the way I felt was just unreal. Like it was just awful. I didn't want to tell nobody. Because my mother was going through a lot. I definitely didn't want to tell her. Like I say, it's one of those things that I just didn't want to talk about unless if it was beneficial to somebody else, or we wanted to talk about it, then I would say so. But it's just one of those things that I just didn't want to talk about. I just wanted just to look forward. I didn't want to look back. Okay. So after that happened, to make a long story short, after that happened, I just remember I was at home one day. And I got a call from my dad's girlfriend, and she said, my brother got a call from my dad's girlfriend and said that your dad had passed out. And I was like, my dad's always young. I'm like, what did he pass out for anyway, right? So I was like, she's like, oh, you come over and come check out your dad. I was like, all right, and then my brother called me and I said, all right, well, he's on his way over there. I said, well, let me just get myself together and I'm gonna come over there too. Okay, so I just remember at the time I was going to see what was going on. I'm going to his house. So I'm on 95 and I'm on the way to his house. And my brother just called me and he said, hey, Rick, your dad just passed. I'm on 95 and I kept it together, and then I managed to get over there, and it was crazy. And my mom was there, my mother was there, a few people were there. So my dad was still in the place. Because I have been through so much, I think at that particular time, I think I was just kind of a little bit numb to it at that time, a little numb to it at that time. So, we got there, and then, like I say, everybody else was there, and then I was there, and I was just talking with my mom, and then I remember the people that, that came and got my dad out or whatever, and they was like, hey, do you want to come in and see him for one more time? And I was like, can't do it. Just couldn't do it. So it left, and it went on, and still was battling what I was going through, Didn't really want to come out, didn't really want to talk about it. All I wanted to see and go to was the beach. That was my place of just like peace. Okay. So after that happened, so I remember. I want to say it could have been maybe like, I don't remember at the time, maybe like 2, maybe 3 months or something like that. I went to work, was out working, and I got a call from one of my brothers. And no, I'm sorry, it was my mother. My mother gave me a call and they said, hey, my mother gave me a call. She said, hey, you need to call my middle brother, JM. And I was like, no, you need to call him. But my mom knew how close I was with my cousin. And so my brother ended up giving me a call maybe like a few minutes later, something like that. He told me, he said, my cousin, we called him, man, he says, man just died on the basketball court.